Yeah, and now let's go back to another song, right? Yeah, but this is I love this beat too. I love this beat. This is my favorite moment. This is my favorite moment. Okay, it goes from like a crazy rap, and then it's like shifting into like a moon temple. Like, I'm here to kill you. You know, this feels like a goddess boss battle, bro. This feels like I'm walking into, you know, like a last final boss in a video game, right? Sitting here on a throne, like, you're here to fight me, aren't you? Tour reacts to Blackpink, Pink Venom. So I am just awestruck by their amazing music videos. The music, catchy, good tunes as well, right? But I just, you know, like I said, that beat trap is real. The tag thing, I mean, I really love the music videos. It's really amazing, and I'm definitely gonna, of course, react to the next song, which I believe is coming out soon, then, right? On YouTube and so on, and of course, interesting to see how compare to. Because I'm coming in as a new fan, right? I have seen most of the older music videos. Cool to see the newest one when that's out. But like last time, then, you guys, we're gonna first watch the Pink Venom, you know, the music video, right? And then I'm gonna go and watch the behind the scenes, right? To me, this actually comes almost more fun, right? As a director kind of guy, I mean, it's really interesting seeing how they made everything. You know, that the bear trap was real. That's still the best thing I think so far. I love the tag too, but yeah, the bear trap. You know, she has the outfits every scene, right? I was getting new. Like, I honestly feel like I have to dress up now. You know, I feel like I hope you guys appreciate that. But I feel, right, like I feel I have to dress up now every time, right? With a new outfit, I mean, not just dress up itself, right? But I was looking good through my wardrobe, like, okay, so last time I had my red Yakuza shirt. This time it's the teal one. Okay, so Pink Venom. The Koto is Japanese. I know my Wagakki Band, so yeah, it's the Japanese. As always, right? I feel like I have like an aneurysm watching this music video. Like, seriously, my brain is like. I feel like I'm sitting there like, whoa, what's happening there? What's happening there? It's so awesome. But I keep saying it, and I said by saying that, maybe people dislike it, but obviously, you know, I like anime, whatever, right? I like the music, but they do really remind me of like an anime opening, right? It's obviously, I suppose, somewhat less storytelling. In an anime opening, you have like the bad guys or whatever, some tales or fights, but it feels very similar, honestly, because it's like, here's this character, and they have this trend power. Here's this. She's like in some kind of religious setting or something, and here this is the. They just feel like they all have different superpowers. It just feels they come off as like in having. It's very thematic. It's really awesome. But yeah, I just immediately say, oh god, I'm gonna have to break it down. It's gonna be so much of happening. Sorry for a quick break again here, but I had immediately, this can speak about aneurysm. One thing these videos do that make them so amazing, right, is this crazy juxtapositioning between different things, right? So we see them doing some kind of like rap, I guess, kind of based on like, you know, American rap, hip hop. It's like New York, it's some kind of like, you know, downtown Atlanta, whatever. Right? That kind of feel, right? And then next scene, you see a person thing. It's a kind of like temple, or with like a moon behind them, like I mean a shrine or something, right? That's the thing that makes this video so weird, awesomely crazy weird, because it's like this thing and that thing. One thing is like a religious thematic, right? And the other one is, you know, kind of like, yeah. So it's crazy. It's like every panel something new happens. It's a both sides tree, I guess.
Bring the pain like ratatata, 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 ratatata. Straight to your, straight to your, straight to your don't like. Ratatata, 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 ratatata. I bring the pain like.
So there's like the gun thing again? I guess so, right? They did have the whole gun dance thing, talking about in the last video, right? The whole gun aiming at her in DDU-DU, right? That's like immediately, right? That is like because so the last video I made last week, right? We looked at DDU-DU, right? And there was like this like the gun sound, that thing, right? But as I said in that video, I was like, well, where I'm from, right? From Sweden, we say rat-ta-ta-ta. That's what we say at the end of the song here. That's what we are saying, right? When we're doing like the, you know, the gun sound, right? So I was thinking, is that like cultural thing? Is that the Korean? You say do, where we say rat-ta-ta. So, but now they kind of did the same, similar, you know, gun dance, right? And said rat-ta-ta-ta. So I guess I kind of, you know, it's like now I feel more in my country. No, but I suppose it's a reference or. Reference, but you know, like an alternate version, perhaps, of that, right? But anyway, yeah, how would you like that dance performance video? I do still do a lot of other stuff too, right? Which I really appreciate. And again, I'm gonna break down this video here now, right? And then we go into, of course, how to make it, right? But I do really appreciate that they have all this, like, you know, how to dance or how we made this stage or whatever, right? It's really awesome. That's just really cool, man, and I like it overall, right? When an artist or this a group artist, and when you have like a full package, right? It isn't just one thing, a song or whatever. It's like a combination of different stuff, right? But anyway, let's go back into it. So first of all, this is a Japanese Koto, right? I believe it's pronounced. I've done a lot of, you know, Wagakki Band reactions, which is one of my favorite Japanese bands, right? So they have this Koto player, and what can I say? It's a spin-off of that thing, but Wagakki Band is this like, I mean, it's like Japanese old school instrument band, right? They have like a lot of band members, and they're playing the shamisen, right, and the kote and the flute and all this stuff, right? They play a lot of the taiko drums and so on, which kind of like a pop. I mean, if you heard about it, I heavily recommend them. I'll show you a very brief. So here's the kote, right, in the Wagakki Band. This is my favorite song, Homura, from them. I would say, yeah, that's. But I think this is probably my favorite actually song from them. So they do a lot of this, right? When they play the flute and so on. Yeah, it's a kind of traditional, old school Japanese band. I definitely recommend them if you haven't seen them before. You know, like do. But anyway, so that's clearly that instrument, right? Which is probably, I think, very hard to play. There's probably not a few people in the world can play it. And I liked immediately, right? This art design here is really cool. So yeah, playing the kote. I think that's what it's pronounced as. Hope I'm butchering my Nihongo here. I think it's called the kote. But anyway, yeah, I like the whole idea, right? It's playing this string instrument, and you know, she has like string around her, and it does feel like a religious theme for her, like cult or something, right? All these people sitting around her, of course. So kind of princess setting, I guess, you know. It certainly feels that. Or maybe like a priestess, right? Like she's some kind of oracle or something. That's kind of how it feels, right? She has this like, you know, like, yeah, like this. I think that's how it, but it feels like, yeah, like she's playing it, and It's a nice touch to how it's like. Yeah, and then it like crashes through a wall. Yeah, this music video, everything happens. But this is what I mean. Like I really love the juxtapositioning in this music video. I think that's the best word I describe it. The shisha otherwise, in how it goes from again like a religious cult thing here, and then it's like suddenly a car like drives through a wall and it explodes, and this is like what's happening, right? And it keeps jumping back and forth, so it feels very yin and yang, right? It's a very interesting music video. Like I said earlier, to me, right, it does feel heavily inspired. Or maybe I'm wrong, okay? Maybe I'm wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong here. But I do feel that. Obviously, I'm an old man now, right? Coming in and obviously, I'm coming from a Japanese culture standpoint, to some extent, right? Growing up with anime and so on, and mostly, of course, martial art and so on. As I talked about in the last video, with my Kwan Dao and so on, right? So, get me wrong. But I do think, though, right, that a lot of this feeling I have here actually does come from how anime opening and trailer also in video games, right? So, I have produced a couple of trailers in my life for video games. Except Call of Duty, right? At least below me perhaps, but I have it in my channel. I did whatever I can show you. It's my I can show. So from the trailers I worked on, this is still probably my favorite. Is the Origins, so Call of Duty 2, the zombie game. But I mean, my point is that when I made this trailer, right, when I designed it, worked on it and so on and tested it, etc. I was thinking mostly on anime artists, This is like 10 years into me being an anime fan, right? So when I was thinking, oh yeah, we have this thing, a zombie comes here, then play the music, right? We were heavily inspired. And kind of also this, like, we jumping down here, right? Shoots. We need to have another thing happening, like, yeah, scream effects, right? Like this thing here, this is stuff I was thinking about. We're making it, is what I mean. Like, we have to have this thing happening, use the environment, to pick up a weapon later, right? Introduce the, and this I felt also when I was thinking about this stuff, right? I felt this was very important, right? And I still do, of course, when I design trailers, is that we have to have the character's name popping up, we have to have this thing going on, like an introduction, right, and so on. And this me and a lot of my co-workers were definitely inspired by this. Would be at the time, for like maybe like Naruto opening, Bleach openings, right? It would be kind of like the big three. It's called anime. Was kind of like the main inspiration where I worked in this trailer, at least. To be about that time. So when I do see this kind of stuff, it massively reminds me of that, because I think we saw more and more of that. Like I said, mostly from those openings into gaming and then into music videos. Maybe like I said, maybe I'm wrong. But it does feel inspired by that, because this is kind of how you do it in these trailers, right? For gaming and so on. Yeah, you smash this and roll up, and it explodes, and bricks are falling, and you see so on. Introducing this character, right? This is a very interesting outfit, though. Yeah, this kind of red outfit here, and there's like a bird cage coming up. I guess kind of similar to the threads that we saw earlier, the strings, which reminds me of Black Clover 5 for that matter, with Vanessa stuck in the birdcage, and she has string pouch. It's a really cool image of that in that opening. And a monster truck, of course. Oh yeah, that's a good. She wasn't a runaway. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, she drives it through the wall, and it becomes a runaway. It is about runaways, right? So now it's very cool thematic. It's very, very cool thematic. That you and I guess she has like a Roman. Crowns on her, yeah, I think so, right? But with a rose on it then. She opens up some kind of pyramid. It does feel kind of ancient Roman, ancient Greek inspiration, right? This feels more Egyptian, I suppose. But the first thing was a little bit more string, which is a more Japanese kind of instrument and so on. But also with Norn sisters, stuff like that, right? In Norse mythology. And the next one is kind of like, okay, she's wearing some kind of outfit that I would say feels kind of Roman, right? And now this feels like Egyptian, right? And ancient Egyptian. It feels inspired by, like, and the clothing is a little bit that adventure type croft again there. It does feel heavily inspired by this different like ancient civilization. This music video. When I think about it, there I rewatched again. Yeah. But see, this is what I really love here. Well, there's an apple that's clearly very inspired by mythology. But it's something I really love, the outfits. I'm sorry, YouTube is lagging here, but I'm trying to find. There we go. I'm trying to find it, whatever. My point is that I really love these new outfits, right? And I tell these people, men and women, right? You want to look badass. You want to look fancy. You know what I mean? This kind of glove, right, is awesome, right? You have this like one hand, one glove, and I know it sounds simplistic, but I keep telling people, asymmetric clothing design, it's so much better, right? You know, like one of my favorite things to do in my own life, as my work, right, is to create characters, right, for media, for games, right. So I create characters. For me, I'm coming from the mechanics standpoint first and foremost, of how they actually play, right. But I think when I, write their backstory and like how their hair will be or whatever, right. And I always want to have these like silhouettes, right? You want to recognize them, you want to have cool clothing, and I always make my characters can have this feeling now. It's like, hey, one hand is one glove, kind of make it, one diamond glove, right? It just looks so interesting. It's more appealing. It makes you be more, what's happening over there, right? As in my last video, I was wearing a shirt I made, right? And in that one, we have different characters per sleeve, right? I also made this shirt here, and the same thing here. I have to remove a shirt then again, but it's like the sleeves are different on each side. Right? The back is very different than the front, right? Now in this one, I'm wearing the One Piece shirt. Yamato, of course, best girl in One Piece. So spoilers here then, but on the front, right, I have Yamato, but on the back, I, of course, have her transformation power, right? She can transform into an animal, so of course in the back I have her devil fruit form, right? So it kind of makes sense, right? When I'm designing, because again I made it myself. I use a 3D program to kind of make sure. So it's like I just really like it, and basically every clothing is me wearing in my anime stuff is what I made myself here. But anyway, so I really like this kind of clothing, right? We have this on YouTube. Sorry about that. Sorry about the YouTube there. This was way better. You see the same thing here, right? One sleeve here, another sign here, right? It looks really great. She looks really great. Oh man, she got 2 belts too. Oh, I love that. But I'm a big fan of fantasy. And everyone knows that fantasy is all about belts, right? Look at every character in FF10 and Lulu is the best, but it's like, yeah, there's this belt thing going on in the FF design, right? You're gonna have like 10 belts on you, but no, but this is awesome. I really liked it. This feels like a very East Asian thing, yeah, the double, triple belt thing. Maybe I should have 2 belts too, it's pretty badass. Oh yeah, so we get the apple. This of course is the, this can be 2 different apples, I guess. But obviously you have the Bible apple, right? Adam and Eve. But you also have like the ambrosia apple. So again, right? This music video so far, very ancient, religious, a lot of ancient civilizations, right? So yeah, clearly it's kind of and I guess it kind of fits for Pink Venom too, because it's like the poisonous apple, right? You eat the apple, and then the whole humanity is cursed and all that fun stuff, with God and Lucifer. But and then suddenly it's like completely black and white here, and she's standing in like some black water. This is probably just water, but it's very dark. Yeah, it's probably just water. It looks very dark, but it's probably just like water they have dyed. I don't think she's standing in mud or something. But it actually looks kind of heavy though. It looks heavier than normal water. So maybe it is a kind of liquid. Maybe it's like a yellow or something. It does kind of shape it up, right? It's slightly more than... that's true. But, honestly, I'm going to guess here, right? Maybe display in behind the video. But there is probably actually an item, right? I don't think she's actually holding liquid here. So I mean, sure, it's water or whatever around it, right? But she's probably lifting up something, And then it's like, liquid around it. It's actually probably the kind of item she's holding, right? And then they poured liquid over it to give it that shape, because it looks really solid. I think it looks too solid to just be like some kind of liquid, unless it's very, very high density on the liquid. But it honestly just looks kind of weird if it would be. So it's probably like a ball, right? Then you have the water around it. Right? You have the yellow around. I don't know. It looks kind of weird. Otherwise, probably. Yeah. Back to the strings. I like the screen there is like thinking on the ground there. Oh, suddenly, yeah, they all have VR on them. I didn't think about it earlier. This is why I love the music videos, because it's so much been happening. Yeah, I did not pick it up earlier. Yeah, they're wearing like a VR headset, right? I see. So is this a kind of it is a kind of concept for future stuff as well, right? There's been a lot of discussion about that, where people are not even gonna go to, concert anymore. You're gonna stay at home, right, and watch it. As a side note, that's very important, but I can't talk about too much here. But it's how do I say this thing without breaking some laws now? I worked. I have to be vague here then because of NDAs, right? But I actually worked with a company that were designing like virtual experience for going to like stadiums, so sports events, but they were also getting into music as well. And I can't go into much detail here, but basically they were kind of interesting because the concept, right, was that you bought the whole experience. You didn't just buy, like a virtual ticket, you can watch it, a live performance. You bought the whole experience, so you can sit home, and then you could like walk around, in like the stadium, right? And you can open doors and like look at how the different places were and so on. And they would actually be locked and so on. Like this, you could go into the VIP room, but only at like 5 to 6, right? And you could like be in this like discussion with the artists and so on. It's very interesting, and I was learning a little bit how to like design this whole interaction, how you would traverse this thing, and you could watch different seasons at the same time and so on. It was interesting, but I think that company, I think they were too early, right? This actually is like when I was there. This is like a couple of years ago, so I think the roadmap was very, very interesting, but I think they were too early, right? I think the technology didn't actually work at that time yet. They had made money and so on, but it wasn't really ready yet. That also I can't talk about it because the company is still, so to speak, have a lot of these, right? So, but it's interesting, and I think that it's gonna come more in the future when you're gonna have people staying at home and have like a virtual concert, right? Go to Blackpink, virtually. And like I said, maybe you could like, it wouldn't just be like, listen to the music, standing there. It would be perhaps that you could, go behind backstage, right? And you could be. It's kind of like, think about it as a streaming or whatever, right? Like you're part of also talking to the artist while you're there, maybe asking them some questions or whatever, right? The hard thing with that, though, I think, one thing is that, okay, so what if 1 million people does that? Who are they gonna comment? Is it random? Or it's gonna be like you pay, like on YouTube or whatever, right? Don't press the pay button, but you know what I mean? That to me is, I mean, as a YouTuber myself or whatever, right? And I used to stream more back then, I had more time. And of course, sometimes people would donate on the stream, and obviously not much happy, but certainly it is a hard thing to crack, right? Because how would you do it if you have so many fans, right? And everyone's like donating, and everyone wants to be seen, and it's gonna be kind of weird. So I think, like I said, I think it's an interesting concept, and I think we're gonna have this in the future. But I think it's gonna be, there's a lot of stuff that has to be worked out, right? How it actually gonna function, not just from an actual like technology standpoint, but also from an interactive standpoint. Because everyone is gonna wanna be that guy, right, to like donate and get, or somehow get their name up there, so that the famous artist will, so like your favorite, Blackpink is saying my name or something, right? It's a kind of streams and so forth. And I also read a paper actually just a few months ago where a guy worked on a new system how to do that for League of Legends streaming. He built a new system how to like talk to your audience. It was very data driven. It was all these like metrics and using this like eye tracking and how you would communicate with your audience, to have voting and that kind of stuff. Like how to have like a live stream and you have the audience being much more involved, right? But like more improved than like just voting and so forth, or like donating. So whatever. I'm digressing now, but you get a point. I work with this stuff for many years now, 20 years now. So I'm all around the space, right? I know a lot of people. I've been in a lot of companies, right, with IT stuff, and what I work with is like I'm a creative IT guy, mostly with games, but also other stuff. So I am very much in that, that how say it, the bridge between art and technology, right? That's kind of where I am, where I try to connect all the different puzzle bits, right? So it's I can talk about it for 10 hours, but anyway, sorry. And I'm sorry, but I hope you guys find it interesting. And leave a comment below if you want to hear more about that. But it is hard to. One issue I have, of course, is that I can't just talk about everything I know, right? For example, I worked in this. I mentioned another video on this NASA thing, right? I can't talk about that, right? Okay, you know what I mean? I can say that. No, I sent up into space. That's very amazing, and I cried. Okay, first time I went to NASA. Man, I cried so much, guys. It's not a video, but I was very emotional. It was very, very cool working on a project that could go to space, right? And just the whole feeling was very like, and I liked it so much that I made a new YouTube channel. Okay, I already have one science channel, but I made a new one. There's even kind of a different thematic approach on it. Because I got so inspired when I was there. It was really amazing. A couple of years ago now, but it was very, very emotional. And I know it sounds silly, but no, I don't know. I was just like, I was like crying for like 3 hours. I was like crying. I started crying when I got to touch a moon rock. So I got to be first I was in NASA, right? I was there with my colleagues, right? And first we did a tour, and I got to touch like the moon rock, and I was like, oh my god, it's been on the moon. There's so much people spent this stuff, and it was a couple of months before we launched our stuff then with SpaceX. It was like 5 months before. Oh, whatever. Sorry, I'm just ranting now. But anyway, but like I said, I wish I could sit here for 10 hours talking about that. But I have to say vague, right, because of all the NDAs. So it's a little bit like, oh yeah, I worked on a space project and it's badass, but I can't tell you why. It sounds like, space. Yeah. Did you know, like, I love the nails again there. Yeah, she got different. Oh, whoa. No, but it's great. I always like that, right? That they have different nails. It's like individually each nail or so on. Yeah, I like that a lot. Definitely. Now, I guess they're dancing now in front of the pyramid teams earlier, right? Probably. Yeah, now it's just been. This is what I felt like an aneurysm, because it's like we're already now, right? It went from like, but this is why it was so crazy. It went from like ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, and now it's like actually now we're like downtown Atlanta or something, Delaware, and it's all like it's crashing out. There's like old 50 cars in America, it's very much that style, right? Like it's on downtowns, it's cashed there, it's all destroyed, all hoodlums, right? So it's like, it feels like I'm just joining into the universe. It's like a time travel now. We get a rap. I suppose it fits the music though. I suppose, right? She's rapping now, so I guess that's more fitting to how she's singing, right, compared to the previous bit. And that's why, from a musical standpoint, interesting, because they kind of do different style, right? They have different kind of like outlays of, now this is like a written thing, here's a chorus, here's a rap instead, and I guess the visuals that are trying to fit into that, right? But it certainly gives you kind of a whiplash, right? So it's very interesting emotion to it, honestly, absolutely. Absolutely. It's quite... yeah, you got very, very like revealing outfits here, long nails and so on. Yeah, feels more. It's kind of American, right? Definitely. This is so American, though. Yeah, this bit here. Yeah, so now it's like a rap, like I said. And after this, it goes back to right. Yeah, and now it's going back to another song, right? Yeah, but I love this bit too. I love this bit. This is my favorite moment. This is my favorite moment, okay? It goes from like a crazy rap, and then it's like she's shifting into like a moon temple, like, I'm here to kill you, This feels like a goddamn goddess boss battle, bro. This feels like I'm walking into, like a last final boss in a video game, right? Sitting here on a throne, like, you're here to fight me, aren't you? Tarnished, right? It feels like an Elden Ring boss, It's like, it's the moon, it's the Kaguya, it's the Ramirez, the moon goddess. This is straight up like I'm walking in here, like, oh shit, it must gonna be terrible, man. She has some kind of lunar magic, right? This is it just comes out of completely nowhere. My god, I love this music video, it's so crazy. And now the music gets quite different, right? I didn't think about that too much, I think, the last time, but it's certainly, I get it now. The more I see the music video, the more I understand it, right? It's it certainly feels more now, right? Okay, she's changing how they're singing. It went from the rap to this bit here, yeah. More calmer, bonsai tree clearly there. Yeah, it's clearly like a bonsai tree. And then it's a kind of like, I guess, a gas or something. And she dropped like a pink gas. Saw it in all the videos where I did do as well. Throwing some pink smoke around them, which is fitting, I guess, for pink Venom. It feels like having a drug thing going on there, maybe, right? As a thematic here. Because it's kind of like she threw out some pink smoke, right? Now she's like inhaling something. The addiction, perhaps. Yeah, like with the team and the music. I suppose that's when I go for baby, right? This is actually, no, I love this part here. Actually, this is probably the coolest thing. This weird, like, ancient alien castle. This is so weird. This might be the best part, actually. Instead of him having this, like, giant inferno gate. What is happening? And this thing, you know what? No, this thing is the best one. I mean, it's like, what is happening? What is this thing? Oh god, it's completely out of nowhere. I mean, it's like, what is happening? What is happening? How did we get here? I love it. I love it. You know what it reminds me of? Leave a comment below what you guys think about. But it reminds me of Stargate, okay? The old TV show. So in Stargate, you know, and they have the spin-off, like Atlantis and so on. You have these giant gates, obviously, right? And you enter them to go to different planets. And they kind of look, honestly, yeah. Not the red stuff, but they have blue instead. Yes, if it was blue instead, it would be very similar to the Stargate. And you also find them on the ground and so on, right? They're kind of hidden in some ancient temple, right? The whole team is that all the aliens, right, built the pyramids and so on, right, in that TV show. And the gods, like Osiris and Ra and Baal and so on, right, are actually aliens, evil aliens, right? They pretend to be gods. So they kind of have this in their caves and so on. Yeah, this honestly reminds me a lot of Stargate, like this whole team here. Having some weird gate down here in the caves is very Stargate. Very much so. Yeah. Pink, pink. And that was like a shirt, I guess. With a giant wrecking ball. Whoa, whoa. Man, see, I love this kind of pants, right? Just near. Like, go back a bit. Yeah, these pants, right? I love this kind of pants. This is the pants that every woman should wear. No, but this is awesome. Maybe I'm just obsessed now with asymmetric clothing, but come on, this is an awesome pant, man. Like, one is green, one is like red, yellow. See, people should wear this kind of stuff way more, right? Like, where I work, people are so boring, man. I'm the only one wearing cool stuff, okay? No, but people should wear this stuff way more. It kind of reminds me of like Kimberly in Season 6 for that matter. Especially with these kind of netted, you know, yeah, it reminds me of her actually, when I think about it. This was adorable too. Absolute Territory. They do have a lot of Absolute Territory outfits, certainly. This one here, is that part of her outfit? Was that part of the... It is, right? Man, now when I'm thinking about it, this flower shape, first I thought it was part of the surrounding, like the background. That's interesting. But that's what I mean. Every time I watch these videos, I see something new, right? So much of it happening. I watch like 10 times to see everything. Like the shoes, though. Yeah, I got a lace shoe. That's pretty cool. One thing I think about, too, and think about it, is that it's also interesting, and that's a good part, of course, is that the background dancers are wearing more plain clothing, right? They're darker clothing they have, and they also have more a symmetric theme, right? So they don't stick out that much, yeah. Clearly the front... ladies are not just distinguished, but they're clearly also in the front, right? Not only from like, they're literally in the front from like actual distance, but I mean they're in the front as in color schematics too, right? And also then symmetry and symmetric versus thing as well, because it's like, so yeah, the direction is really well done, right? Because it's everything, right? It's the outline, shadow, the lightning, but also like but her outfit is more not just like it's darker theme, but it's like it's less complicated, right? Yeah, it's less complex. So your eyes are less concerned about the backhand dancer. It's an interest. It's a really good way to do it. Absolutely. Gonna get him. Yeah. Too much wee pink. That's how it sounds definitely. I see you just love this thing. I love this like Stargate thing. I love it. It's got a giant fire thing out in the pavement. And but I guess it's a team, right? That I feel I'm correct on that team. That it is inspired by like Stargate and similar, right? Because all the other places they're singing are basically like ancient stuff, right? Oh, it's ancient Greek, ancient Egypt, whatever, right? And then she is like, oh, it's ancient, but it's like an actual alien place, right? It does feel inspired by that team, right? That it is like, yeah, ancient building, and also, well, this one actually have a secret alien gate. Like, certainly. Oh, it's the frozen. Oh, it's a butterfly. Oh, it's yes. No, like ninjas. Yeah, it's kind of a ninja with their giant dwarves. See the gum thing again, right? Yeah, so it's the gum dance again, right? See the gum, like a DDU-DU. And like I said earlier, That's what I think of the Ratata, right? You know, the whole, yeah, there's a gun thing. They're coming up there, they're doing the, here we get some good image of it. Yeah, they're doing the gun dance, right? So, this one, I'm guessing then, or I think so, I can compare it, but it's after DDU-DU, right? So, it feels like this is the evolution of the gun dance for DDU-DU. This is the second gun. Maybe there's no in between, of course. I mean, I'm kind of new to this, all the music videos, so, and dances, but it's clear, it's like an evolution of it. Man, this is great. This is fantastic. This is a great scene. Like, they're all dancing it together, and it's in the water, right? And you have this really interesting, like, lotus or something like that, and the flowers, pink smoke. This is a really fantastic shot. This whole scene here is just fantastic. You go from land here, right? It's a kind of spaceship, then in front of it. It's like sort of Star Wars, right? Whatever. And yeah, you see the water. This is a fantastic moment. It's a fantastic visual moment. Yeah, it's just, this is really fantastic, breathtaking. It's just amazingly well done. This whole bit is just like 11 out of 10. It's amazing dance moment here. I also loved that they have like black outfits, right? And all the bands have white outfits. So it's like it's just really well done. They have the background. It's much more colorful. It's pink, right? It's bluish, mostly pink, of course. And then the main band has the black outfits, where the background dancer has the white, right? So good contrast to it, and they're doing it really cool as in the water. It looks fantastic, like really, really fantastic. This last bit here is amazing. Yeah, it's extremely well done. I mean, it's the image here. Yeah, it looks just fantastic. But this is what I really like with this band. It's just like. You know, I keep saying it, but I'm just like awestruck by the visuals, right? Like, it's just like, I mean, yeah, and it's just, I keep stuttering, but it's like the first time that I watched it, I liked it too, of course, right? But now I'm here, we're reviewing it now, we're going over each scene, right? And I'm watching it again, being like, oh my god, this is awesome, look at that, yeah. Well, did you see that thing? Oh, it's a flower thing there, right? And it's just like every time I watch it, I keep seeing something new that I like, right? And I really do enjoy that. But yeah, this last image here is just imagery, rather. It's really fantastic. Get into it here. Pink smoky clothing. They also have really cool clothing design as well, right? And I guess I feel like a little bit Ninja Corp first. Otherwise, there's some kind of survival, I guess. It does feel like it has like I said, a Stargate team, right? Like they have been, this is like an alien planet now. And the four of them are like fighting to survive in this like dinosaur planet, something like that. And they have this, you know, like survival outfits. So that's what I'm getting from the team here. I think so, right? But anyway, let's go over to making the video behind the scenes as well then.
안녕하세요, 블랙핑크입니다. 핑크 베넘으로 이렇게 돌아왔습니다.
Kicking the door, waving the Koto. popcorn이나 챙겨 껴들 생각 말고.
이 멋있는 트럭을 보셨나요? 핑크 베놈 트럭입니다. 제 개인칭 다 찍었고요. 우리 블링크 마음에 드나요?
멋있는 기타리스트처럼 잘 할 수 있을까라는 생각이 있었는데 다 내려놓으니까 뭐 막 하게 되더라고요. 그래서 좀 멋있게 나올 것 같고요. 단체 촬영 때 뵙도록 하겠습니다.
I bring the pain like
You know, when I really see this from this angle, right, it does look similar to DDU-DU as well, in the ceiling actually, right? How they made this thing here. I didn't think about when I saw the early angle, but it's more clear here in this angle now behind the stage, right? And it's always a little more obvious when you're seeing from other angles, like, you know, the non-actual like music video, right? You see some sidelines or whatever. So it's very likely, of course, the same people. I would assume they have mostly the same people working on that, but it feels very similar. How this, I'll call it tomb or whatever it is, Stargate, whatever it's supposed to be. It's very, very similar to the reduced, like, I don't know, the stage standing on in the beginning, right? Very, very similar. Or not this like art style, but more like aesthetically how the house is built, what do you call it?
bring the pain like
or texture. Yeah. So pink.
문재 씨 핑크 베놈의 포인트 안무 한번 설명해 주세요.
Yeah, it's much clearer now that this thing is broken. We barely saw it in the music video. The lights are coming different here. There's another one on the side here actually, like this bell thing. Do you ever see that in the music video? This is obviously the one we see, right? And it has like this huge, wrecking ball thing underneath there, gong or whatever. Do you ever see this thing here actually? And now in this angle, oh, it's like a moose or something, or a deer, an elk. It's much more clearer now. Think about it. It's a lot of this stuff, yeah. No, it's a lot of this stuff that you don't think about it until you see this angle. That's why I like these videos making the film, because as soon as I'm watching this thing, right, from, okay, we use like, this is the same scene, right, but we're angling it like 45 degrees over there from the sideline, suddenly a lot more like, oh yeah, that thing is there, that's like a moose, okay, yeah. An elk, yeah. The rap part. Oh, this is the weirdest part of this video, man. Oh, this is probably the best shot. This shot here, this is the main boss aura shot. This is probably, I think, from a purely like, cinematographic standpoint, where when this scene started, as I mentioned earlier, and she see it's coming this very regal look, right? The regalia, when she has this like moon behind her and so on. Definitely, probably the best shot, I think. I like how the camera is so incredibly long here. Yeah, you see, it's very, very yeah, detailed. But this definitely looks the best, I think, when she's sitting here in like a throne room. It's like, oh shit, I triggered a boss event. I thought it was a save point first. That's the feeling, man. Like, oh no, she's gonna kill me, man. Like this is.
여기가 저의 개인 세트였는데요.
Yeah, that's the best. Oh, vampire, yeah. But this is what I mean. This feels like I'm right, she is a boss, right? This is like the moon lady. Come on, I keep telling you. She's clearly an evil vampire queen, see? I'm not just seeing stuff. I felt the whole thing. I was like, my god, this is like... She really reminds me of the Elden Ring boss. Yeah, this is like I'm coming into a boss room, and she's like, oh, fresh meat. And she suddenly jumps me and slices me open, right? And I die on this fight 5,000 times. Yeah, this felt like a very much like I'm entering, the lair, right, of the vampire queen. The legendary moon vampire lady. That's why she's a vampire, yeah, because she's, queen of the night, right? And she's gonna slay me like 7,000 times until I finally defeat her, right? This looks like a Souls-like boss, yeah. Yeah, massively. It also reminds me of that boss in Wushang. That was last year. I can't remember now. It was the evil queen in Wushang. You fight her, but you fight in the dungeon underneath. And her daughter is even. Also, her daughter, but it's like her son's fiance is like a monster underneath her later on or something. Some concert princess thing going on. Or whatever, those kind of games. It's always like some evil backstory and a spin-off now. But it's like Wushang basically has an evil queen character in the second act of the game. And she has this like. She got like ice magic, and she got like a fox or something, so kind of like a fox scarf thing going on. This looks very similar to her, yeah. Sitting like a throne, and like, yeah, you wanna fight me, human, right? She's like, and she's like, I will fight you, and she throws like ice, and she has like a pipe, and she like smokes it, and breathes like ice spit at you. This is what I expect from this thing, yes, evil vampire lady being like, oh, I want some fresh blood. Yes.
오면서 모았던 컬렉션들인데요. 제가 지금 한 2000년 정도
I see. Yeah, see, it makes sense. I keep telling you. She's been eating people for 2,000 years, see? Exactly, I was right. She's been consuming lovers for 2,000 years, clearly, yeah. She has all her weapons around her and ancient tubes and men artifacts.
그들을 만나려고 2000년 산 봤습니다.
Exactly, see that? I'm telling you. The red... no, whoa. But you don't like, whoa. Taste that pink. Oh, this, yes, the best part in here. Visually very interesting, yeah. The last bit there. Oh, yeah, the VR thing. The VR is interesting, not really, yeah, it's like, it's interesting, I think. extra. So yeah, like.
다 같이 너무 재밌게 촬영했으니까 많은 기대 부탁드리고요. 곧 만나요, 블링크. 보고 싶어요.
Oh, there's the last bit. Yeah, yeah, this point, I said earlier, has the best imagery, right? Very, very interesting part. It has to be a huge stage, though, with the build here, right? Yeah, it's definitely quite bigger than the other ones were. Like the last time, I think they first built this set here, right? And then they put on the flowers and so on underneath. Because in the last one, they do the same thing where it's like, you have this one stage, and then they're moving some of the props to it later, right? So this thing here is probably the same place here, right? Let me see here, they go out of it, right? We'll go back a bit here. This is probably the same location, right? And then they probably, record this bit here, right? This takes a few hours, whatever, they spend a day on that thing, and then they take a break in between, right? And I guess they put up all the flowers and so on. But it certainly looks at the same building, right? Yeah, they certainly looked at the same, but they put like stuff, afterwards, probably, right? I think they do the same thing where they had like this main set piece, and then they added those flowers in the ceiling afterwards, probably. That's feels like the same thing here, right? It has probably the same flowers, looking very similar to this. Yeah, but this here, this is the best from which standpoint. The water and so on. Oh yeah, they didn't show the black thing. I wish it was right on the ball thing in the water or not. There's a yeah, this is a very, like I said, it's very, very good. This is a fantastic shot here. Yeah, this whole thing is really, really good, man. This shot one, it's really fantastic. I wish I had. I don't think this is showing the blink, the black equal thing. See here. No, they jump into the guitar bit, right? Like I'm gonna be baddest. Yeah, I'm gonna be a badass guitarist. Huh. I do wonder if I was correct on that thing. This one thing, right? But I didn't really show this. Yeah, I don't think they actually showed this part at all, right? In the behind the scene there. I didn't see the list. Maybe it's very briefly. But like I said earlier, my theory is, and I think I'm correct in that this isn't actually, yes, like I said earlier, it is liquid, right? But it's probably something like a ball or something, right? Actually, there's like there's a little bit liquid over it. So this looks so solid. Yeah, it looks just too big here. It looks, or it's like super sticky. But the thing is that this thing here isn't sticky enough, right? That's the thing. That's the thing. One thing. Yeah, let's call it viscerality in English. What it's called. I can't remember this call now in English. It's like a really hard word. Okay. Sumi. It's a really hard word. It's like visceral or whatever it's called. But like basically the liquid isn't as liquidized on the different surface areas, right? So underneath your hand, the liquid is flowing faster than it is overhand, right? On this, like this here, the liquid, right? That's what I'm guessing here. That's why, to me at least, it doesn't look like the same as the same material, right? Because like the liquid is moving equally fast. It's moving its hand, but it could of course be because it's dropping it too. But I don't know. It doesn't look like the liquid. Yeah, it's even pumping a bit, right? That doesn't look. Yeah, that thing doesn't look. That thing can't be. Yeah, it has to be an item. It's like blowing too, because like you see here, right? Like it's moving upright. Like it's moving upwards. Yeah, like it's actually floating upwards, right? It's actually expanding upwards. That doesn't make any gravity. Obviously, would make so this has to be some kind of item. It's even like breathing. Like it's alive. It's a symbiote. No, but seriously, it has to be that, because otherwise it would it would have another form, right? It has to be fake. This whole video is fake. It's all just fake, man. no, but I think about that. I'm like, no, it has to be. It has to be. Like it doesn't make any sense otherwise. But I did pick up on that earlier, yeah. I picked up on that, like, it looks weird. It doesn't look how a normal liquid works, right? The science nerd in me was like, nah, there's something I miss here. But, all that being said, that's probably the point, of course. This is something that is alien, right? They're finding, like, stargates on the planets, and this is the Venom symbiote, something like that, right? This actually is probably something what is, reference to, homage to, right? It looks like a symbiote. They're picking up some kind of weird, alien liquid, right, on this other planet, and it's gonna give her awesome superpowers, right? Turning into, one of the best kids ever, Venom, man. Spider-Man behind me. No, but I like Venom. He's one of my favorite characters. Carnage, also cool, of course. But I also really liked Venom as a character. Eddie Brooks, a good character. He grows from this, like, you know, bad guy. I'm also a sucker for redemption stories, right? So he goes from a villain, of course, to, of course, being an anti-hero, I suppose. He's not really heroic, but you know what I mean? And then actually I also really liked the spin-off, what we call later, when Flash, when Eugene Thompson and Flash becomes Venom. It's called Agent Venom, right? Actually, really I have all those comics, so I kind of like them. And I like Flash as a character, right? You know, he's Peter's bully, also turned into a good guy later, right? But I also liked Flash because he's an interesting character. He's like, you know, he really likes Spider-Man, but he hates Peter Parker, right? It's a well-written character. I think arguably Flash is the best character in Spider-Man. Yeah, I said that seriously, because he has this interesting positioning, right? Where he really likes the one of the alter egos, right, of the main character. He's the other one, and overall, he's a much more interesting and dynamic character. And I really hated how they made him in the movies, right? When he's like some nerd or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. He's supposed to be like a jock, you know. Yeah, I hate it so much. It just completely didn't make any sense for his character. It made no sense. And he kind of used, like, he's a completely other character. Terrible casting. Terrible casting. It made no sense. They kept nothing of the Flash in the latest movies. Massively. I end the video with that. No, but seriously, I was like, I'm not writing that. Anyway, guys, let me subscribe. Press the like button and have a great day.